Hey there, and welcome back to Mass Effect 3. My name is Pete, and today we complete another episode of our Mass Effect 3 Insanity walkthrough. In the last episode, we went to Grissom Academy for an emergency evacuation, we met another former squad member from Mass Effect 2 in Jack, and we had a bit of fun with an Atlas mech at the end of the episode, in a sequence that, as I have now learned thanks to your comments, was very likely a bit bugged. In the grand scheme of things though, that likely does not make that much of a difference. I am fairly confident that we would have been able to win that last fight even outside of the mech. I just want to provide full transparency. That last fight was probably a little bit easier than it should have been. Now today we will spend a few more minutes here on the Normandy, completing a couple of short conversations, before we then return to the Citadel for what is likely going to be a two-parter, because at this point in the game the Citadel just has an absolute ton of content waiting for us, especially for a completionist playthrough that aims to experience all of it. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. For now, let's get going and have a quick look at our updated list of war assets, where last episode's mission in Grissom Academy has resulted in a few improvements. Assigning Jack's students as biotic support units has granted us an additional 50 points for the Marine Division here. The survival of Kaylee Sanders then gives us a baseline 20 points, another 5 are given because we rescued all of those students scattered throughout the facility, and another 5 are given because we sent David Archer to Grissom Academy as part of the Overlord DLC. Finally then, Jack gives us 25 points simply because she survived the suicide mission and we completed the emergency evacuation, and with that we almost have our first 1000 points of military strength assembled. Today, as we head to the Citadel, we will increase that count a bit further, but first let's take another quick tour through the ship.
You see the feeds from Paladin? It's brutal. I'm amazed the Turians are holding.
The birds don't quit when things get ugly, I'll give them that.
Now, our first stop today is the cockpit, where we now have Joker and EDI residing, and who, after the completion of Grissom Academy, now both have a few short lines of dialogue for us.
So Jack's an instructor? I guess anyone who messes with biotic kids gets turned into a small stain on the floor and ceiling. Ooh, and that was Cerberus attacking the academy. Man, that must have been like Christmas for her. Anyway, nice job on getting them out of there.
They were throwing out some impressive biotic power.
Good. We could use some heavy hitters in the biotics department. It'll be good for them too. Biotics face a lot of discrimination. Maybe if they save the galaxy, people will get over their issues.
I didn't expect you to be sensitive about that.
Hey, I'm just tired of them stealing the spotlight from people with actual disabilities. I break ribs if I sneeze too hard. Being able to move crap with your mind is not a handicap.
It is good to know that Jack has thus far survived the Reaper invasion. I have amusing memories of her attempts to insert additions into my reports to the Elusive Man. Most of them centered around inappropriate uses of the word cockpit.
And honestly, yes, it is a bit of a shame that Jack could not return as part of the crew in this game. Admittedly, we did not really use her much as a squad member in Mass Effect 2, but the conversations with her were always entertaining, to say the least.
Commander, you may want to check in on shuttle pilot Cortez down in the armory.
And we will do that, but not before we work our way through the crew deck and engineering first, because, unsurprisingly, Joker and EDI are not the only ones who have some thoughts on Grissom Academy.
The private messages terminal has new correspondence.
It was odd to see an entire academy just for biotic children.
Don't Asari have biotic schools?
Every Asari school includes biotic training programs. It's basic education. Still, those children in the academy were very impressive. I'm sure Jack's proud.
And yes, that pride was hard to miss during the last episode, and is likely also the main reason why Jack is not willing to part ways with her students. Now, on the broker terminal here, we can read two short messages, the first one between Kaylee Sanders and Jack herself, regarding a new biotic implant that Jack is apparently very interested in. The second message is then also from Sanders, but this time sent to Captain Anderson, once again showing us that she deeply cares for Anderson, potentially hinting at a bit more than just a platonic relationship between the two, something that is actually further explored in some of the Mass Effect novels, but I don't think that we need to get into that here. Suffice it to say, Sanders and Anderson have a bit of a history, so it's great to see the two of them still alive. Up next, we are now heading to the main battery to visit Garrus, who has more than just a few thoughts on the recent mission.
One of the worst parts of this war is watching the kids react. If they're lucky, they grow up thinking the galaxy is basically a decent place. Some rough spots here and there, but for the most part, life makes sense. Now they find out it was all a lie. They wake up to see these things in the dark that just want to destroy everyone they ever cared about. If they survive, there'll be a lot of angry orphans out there looking for answers. Life just wouldn't have been complete if I didn't see Jack one more time. It's nice to see she's downgraded from dangerous lunatic to mildly insane. You have to admit, though, she did see through Cerberus back in the day. I might have even listened, but her tattoos gave me a headache every time she walked into the room. Looks like we beat Cerberus again. Do you think the Elusive Man fires lieutenants over failures like this, or just lines them up against the wall and gets it over with? I wish they had a Grissom Academy for Turians when I was growing up. Always wanted to learn how to paint. Now I mostly paint walls with Reaper blood. Not the same, but it's a living. Later.
And finally, to complete our tour here on the crew deck, a short one-liner from Dr. Chakwas, this time however not regarding Jack or Grissom Academy, but instead our Turian friend in the back.
I'm glad to see we have Garrus back. I wanted to help with his scars, but I think he actually likes them. Take care, Commander.
Alright, and with that we can now return to the elevator and head down to engineering, where we are likely not even going to spend a full minute, as the only thing that we want to do here is to just briefly check in on Diana Alice.
Breaking now, a city of 4 million blasted from orbit. Adelaide, Australia is no more. New footage from Earth reveals the Reaper's plans to attack large industrial centers. Which cities are next? Find out inside the battle space. You know, in the old days, they didn't have automat cameras. Reporters had to cake on the makeup.
And there we go. Any further interaction at this point would only result in that conversation where we could kick her off the ship. So instead, let us now finally head down to the shuttle bay. After all, Cortez seems to have something on his mind.
They're everywhere. You just get taken to. I can't just sit here doing nothing. Stay with me. Run. Get out of there. You can make it. No, I can't, Steve. But you can. Promise me. I love you. But I know you. Don't make me an anchor. Promise me, Steve. No, don't.
Commander. Sorry. Didn't see you there. This is a recording from Ferris Fields. Months ago. I lost a lot of friends that day. I lost my husband. I grieved. Said goodbye, made my peace.
And as always, dialogue options on the left want to be explored first. I think for future conversations I'm not actually going to point that out anymore, and just let the conversation flow without any further interruptions.
You were talking to him when the collectors hit?
I was organizing construction at a remote station a few clicks south of the main colony. Robert managed to get outside of the field the collectors put up. Instead of running, he called me.
Now, I think the Paragon choice here is an absolute no-brainer. The man is obviously still in deep grief, so let's give Cortez a bit of emotional support.
I'm sorry for your loss. He obviously cared a lot about you.
He was afraid I wouldn't let go. But for him, I moved on. Or at least I thought I had. Then the invasion hits, there's no time. And the one thing I grab is this. I mean, what's the point of moving on with your life when everything is going to hell?
Start thinking that way and we've already lost.
Yeah, you're right, but... well, to be honest, I've never felt as alone as I do right now.
And once again, in my opinion, an easy Paragon choice here. It might sound a bit flirty, and potentially it could be, but for the moment it is, again, just emotional support.
You're not alone, Steve. I'm here, anytime you need me.
I appreciate that, Shepard, I really do. But don't worry, Commander. When I'm in that pilot seat, I'm there 100%. I won't fail you. It's just the downtime between missions that's hard, you know?
I know.
Commander, I feel terrible about leaving you on Grissom Academy like that.
I did order you to leave.
Yeah, doesn't make me feel any better. I'm just glad it all worked out.
And finally, while we're down here, we might as well hear what James has to say as well.
That Jack is a mean SOB. But kinda hot. If you like that sort of thing.
Alright, now I'm not quite sure if that feeling would be mutual, but who are we to judge? In any case, let's head back up to the CIC.
Commander, you have an encrypted message from a Miranda Lawson.
Right, so that is another name that we haven't heard in some time, and as you can see, her message is not the only one that we have to read. Starting us off is a very brief invite from Aria, who seems to be residing on the Citadel as well for the time being, and who wants to meet us in the Nightclub Purgatory. Message number 2 is then the aforementioned one from Miranda, who also wants to talk to us on the Citadel and is very likely going to be our first conversation after arriving, as she is waiting for us in the docking bay. Message number 3 is then an interesting one coming from a fellow Spectre named Jondum Bau, and who, surprise surprise, also wants to meet on the Citadel, so we are potentially looking at a joint mission here. For a change, the next message then is just a simple thank you from none other than Kaylee Sanders, who now promises to help on the Crucible project, basically confirming what we have already learned from the War Assets Terminal. Message number 5 then comes from Kaidan, and we were actually already informed about this in the last episode. He wants to talk to us in the hospital, and we also learn here that Udina has apparently offered to make him a Spectre, more than enough reasons to pay him a visit, I think. Now, the sender of message number 6 here only becomes clear at the very end. Until then, we only learn that they are also on the Citadel and apparently not in good health. Only the message's signature then reveals that we are in fact talking about former squad member Thane Krios. Now, the final 2 messages here are both related to DLC content that has been integrated as part of the Legendary Edition. Both of those DLC actually have their start on the Citadel as well, but we are not going to interact with them for quite some time. So far, all that we know is that the first one relates to important new information about the Reapers, and that Aria is somehow involved in the second one, but in a few moments we are going to talk to her anyway, so perhaps that will give us a bit more of a clue. However, before we make our way over to the Citadel, we have a small tour through the Galaxy plant, because one of the things that we are going to do on the Citadel is to go shopping, and for that we need some money, which is why we are now heading over to the Kite's Nest. Now, the following footage is all sped up a little bit, otherwise we would be sitting here for about 10 minutes or so.
I found something.
But of course, you are free to pause at any time if, for example, you want to read through the planet's descriptions. Our first target is the planet Adek, where we launch what is actually our 5th probe of this playthrough, getting us halfway to the Lost and Found achievement and also making us 10,000 credits richer. Right next to that we can then find some fuel, and that's it, back to the mass relay we go. Before we leave though, we have 3 more assets to recover from this system as well.
Signal confirmed.
Starting with probe number 6 that we can deploy over Varouche. As a result, we now recover a weapon upgrade kit that we can use on the Intel terminal in Liara's office, but we'll do that later. For now, let's grab another fuel refill. And we are also not done just yet, because on the Batarian homeworld of Kashan we can deploy probe number 7, giving us the Batarian Pillars of Strength, which are, as you can see, connected to a side mission that coincidentally enough also takes place on the Citadel. And with that, the Kite's Nest is taken care of, on we go to the Hades Gamma Cluster. Five systems await us. In total we can find 30,000 credits here, a lovely cash boost that we definitely want to grab before we go on our shopping spree.
I found something.
First of all though, with probe number 8 we recover another war asset, and we'll learn a bit more about this the next time we interact with the war asset terminal. That is also already all we can grab in the Plutus system. The next one meanwhile has 2 places of interest for us.
Signal confirmed.
First of all, we can grab some much needed fuel, and then we can deploy probe number 9 over the planet Kalensal. This gives us a further 10,000 credits, but again we are not done just yet. By the way, if you are not after 100% completion and only do this for the money,
Reapers eluded,
then know that you can technically obtain infinite credits as part of the Citadel DLC, which means it would be enough to only pick up those war assets and quest items.
I found something.
I do believe though that especially early in the game it does make some sense to obtain as much money as possible, even though later on we could theoretically be swimming in cash. Now, with probe number 10 deployed and another war asset acquired, we have also just obtained the Lost and Found achievement, which is however going to remain the only achievement that we unlock in this episode. In the next episode we might be able to obtain another one, but that depends on how much money we have left at that point.
Signal confirmed.
And at the moment I don't think that it's going to be enough. But let me worry about that. In the meantime, we can launch another probe here and obtain a further 10,000 credits, before we then also find another fuel depot, and we are starting to run somewhat low here, so a further 400 units certainly come in handy. And with that, we only have the system housing the mass relay left to explore.
I found something.
Which allows us to send out yet another probe and to obtain yet another 10,000 credits. And with that we have the full 30,000 that can be grabbed in this cluster, at least for the moment, so let's empty out one last fuel depot and then make our way out of here. Our next target is now the Shrike Abyssal, which will be much faster to complete. Starting us off, we can immediately head over to the Ura Rust system, where we will now find an object for a side mission that we have actually already obtained on our first visit to the Citadel.
Signal confirmed.
As we overheard a Volus diplomat in the embassies area talking about a Prothean obelisk. And that Prothean obelisk is exactly what we have just recovered, thus allowing us to complete that side quest and to obtain a sizable reward. This is, by the way, also the second reason for doing a thorough exploration tour before heading to the Citadel, because it allows us to complete as many side quests as possible in one visit,
I found something.
Reducing the number of times we have to go back and forth between locations. This is also why we should always complete a good number of missions and assignments between Citadel visits, as we will very often find stuff during those missions that might be of interest to certain persons on the Citadel, once again allowing us to quickly complete quests, earn experience points and of course obtain rewards. With that being said, we are now heading over to the Minos Wasteland, which is thankfully our final stop before visiting the Citadel.
Signal confirmed.
All in all, there is not much to be found here. The entire place only consists of one small system, but still, we will of course not say no to a further 10,000 credits, as well as another small refuel, which brings our fuel reserves back up to full capacity. And there we are, we have made it, and I hope it wasn't too boring. Things are about to get a bit more exciting now, as we're finally heading over to the Citadel. Now, as we arrive here, we can actually make a choice regarding where on the Citadel we exactly want to go. Heading to Dr. Bryson's labs, however, will start a DLC campaign, and like I said earlier, we don't want to do that just yet.
Normandy, we are transferring your docking clearance to an Alliance official.
Figures. Finally back in action, the Alliance already wants us tagged and collared.
Just our way of welcoming you back, Flight Lieutenant.
Yes ma'am, requesting docking permission?
Docking permission granted. Would you like private transport arranged?
And once again, a small quality of life improvement here, as we could theoretically skip the entire docking bay and head straight to the hospital or the embassies, but we don't want to do that. After all, there is actually someone waiting for us in the docking bay.
I'll handle it.
Yes, Commander. Shepard, there you are.
Commander Shepard. It's been far too long. We live in interesting times.
A little too interesting.
I couldn't get anywhere near you when the Alliance had you locked up.
Relieved of duty. It was complicated.
I'm sure it was. I'm surprised they didn't court-martial you. The Alliance isn't known for its flexibility.
Doesn't matter now.
Shepard, about Earth.
Right, so as advertised, we have run into Miranda, and even though this here seems like the prototypical morality choice, it actually isn't, so we can go with the more determined of the two options and not forgo any Paragon points.
I'm alright. We'll figure out some way to even the odds. We have to.
Everybody has a weakness. Even the Reapers. I'm sorry, Shepard.
What about you? What brings you here?
I need to talk to a few people. Like you. The Citadel is a good place to meet. For now. What's the Alliance's next move?
We have a plan. It's a long shot.
Not surprising. Shepard, there's something I wanted to mention.
What is it?
I haven't heard from my sister, Oriana, for a while. I'm getting worried.
Your sister?
Yes. I don't want to overreact, but... well, there's a lot going on.
I thought we made sure she was safe.
We did. It's probably nothing, but I just know my father is involved.
What happened?
I don't know. Everything I had in place to make sure she was safe went dark.
And of course, we are not going to just wish her good luck with that endeavor. If there is one thing that we are known for, it's that we help out our friends, no matter how dire the circumstances.
What do you need from me?
I appreciate the offer, Shepard, but you have your hands full. If I need a door or two kicked down, I know just who to call. But for now, I'll be fine.
Okay. I understand.
I have to figure this out.
And at this point, we could now cut the conversation short, but of course we don't want to do that.
You will.
Instead, we can now ask Miranda a few questions about her sister, what she's been up to, and her relationship with Cerberus.
Why do you think your father was involved in Oriana's disappearance?
I kept careful tabs on my sister. I always knew where she was. For her to just vanish, it could only be him. After I hid her away, I still knew he'd stop at nothing to find her. She's all he has left. I have a hunch what happened, but I'll fill you in when I'm certain.
If you're looking for a lead here, anyone associated with Cerberus will be hard to find.
No question, but I'm owed a few favors. Someone here will give me a tip on Oriana.
Have you had any run-ins with the Elusive Man?
Just once. He said it had been a pleasure to work with me, but he needed to contain the situation.
Contain the situation. Sounds final.
It nearly was. He doesn't take rejection well.
No, he doesn't. It's been a long time. What happened to you?
I've been in hiding. Being on the run from just about everyone isn't as glamorous as it sounds.
I didn't know.
It's all right. I knew there would be repercussions to walking away from Cerberus.
I imagine. You're a dangerous enemy.
I am.
And for the time being, we are going to leave it at that. We have not obtained a mission here just yet, but I have a feeling that this is not the last that we hear from Miranda.
I've got to get back to it.
And I should get out of sight.
Be careful.
No promises.
Now, this conversation is actually also the only thing that we have to take care of here in the docking bay, and because there is a very specific order in which we will tackle the next areas available to us, our next destination is going to be the hospital.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Huerta Memorial Hospital.
Yes, I know your stock of modified metagel is low, but... No, you don't understand. This isn't for... Listen, I am a surgeon at Huerta Memorial on the Citadel. We have several alien patients here at this time, and we need... No, regular metagel won't work. We need the modified version for better absorption rates. Don't you dare hang up on me. This is a medical emergency. We can't wait forever on this.
And we have actually obtained such a Medigel formula in our Cerberus lab raid, so let's help out here.
I found this Medigel formula and figured you could make good use of it.
Where did you find this? Never mind, it doesn't matter. Yes, we can put this to good use. Thank you.
Right, first small side quest completed, and we have another conversation with another familiar face coming up, as Thane here also wanted to meet us.
Commander Shepard, when I heard Earth was under attack, I tried to call. I never got through.
Thane, good to see you staying in shape.
My disease kills slowly. With enough care and a healthy lifestyle, it can be delayed for a few years. Of course, my allotted time has come and gone. Now I exercise because it pleases me. What are you doing here?
Visiting a friend, Kaidan. He got hurt protecting me.
The human biotic in intensive care. I saw the marks of an implant.
Yeah.
We have spoken. He seems an honorable sort. Your enemies may try to finish him off here. I will look out for him.
I appreciate it, Thane.
I am near the end of my life. It is a good time to be generous. Keprel syndrome has put most of my other plans on hold.
Now, unfortunately, our options in this conversation do not go beyond asking a few questions. Among them, interestingly enough, one that we could not ask Miranda, and that is to rejoin the Normandy.
Are you in a lot of pain?
At times. The oxygen transfer proteins don't form correctly. Your human equivalent would be hemoglobin. As a result, my blood is low in oxygen. No matter how much I breathe in, I get tingling, numbness, and that is the best of it. As for my brain, I cannot track the damage. I just experience dizziness from time to time.
Do you know how much time you have left?
I've been to several doctors. My favorite gave me 3 months to live. 9 months ago. It's freeing to find no requirements placed on me. No responsibilities. No fears. It is a good end to a life.
I'm back on the Normandy on an important mission. Sure could use you.
I would not be as I was before. I need daily medical attention. And if I know you, you will want to fight the Reapers somehow. You need the best at your side, and I am not at mine.
You don't have to wrestle down Krogan and break their necks. I'm sure we could find you lighter work.
I am at peace with what I've done in my life, Shepard. There comes a time when one must rest from war and conflict. It is not your time, but it is mine.
Right, so certainly not the happy news one might have hoped for, and it looks like Thane is determined to spend the rest of his days here, so we can say our goodbyes, hopefully not for the last time.
I wish the best for you, Thane.
And I for you. Do not grieve for me. I have good doctors. My son visits regularly. Perhaps we will keep up via the extranet now that you are free. Until we meet again, Shepard.
And coming up next, we now have an interesting little choice waiting for us.
It's completely tasteless to call this place Huerta Memorial.
President Huerta died of a stroke 2 years ago, ma'am.
I think you meant to say the man was dead for an hour and a half and his political enemies piled on enough propaganda to get the hospital name changed.
He can't remember his own name without the BI in his head telling him what it is. Trust me, in this building, we know dead.
The Supreme Court says he's alive.
5 justices say he's alive, 2 of them appointed by him. The name is what it is.
What's going on here?
Ma'am, I'll cut you a deal. You buy us 90 million credits worth of life-saving equipment, and you can name the hospital whatever you want.
Now the truth comes out. My job here is done.
Now, we will run into more of these choice situations in the near future, and while this here did not have any noticeable consequences, that might be different for others.
Welcome to Cirta.
While we're here, we can also make one quick purchase and upgrade our Medigel capacity. After all, we do have the money.
Cirta is a non-profit organization dedicated to the medical needs of all sapient life.
And before we go in and talk to Kaidan, let's also quickly check in with Dr. Michelle.
Hello again, Commander. Here to see our patient?
How is Kaidan doing?
Stable. There's no evidence of cognitive impairment from the concussion, but multiple shoulder fractures are still on the mend. Bed rest under observation is all that's needed now. I'm sure a visit would be welcomed.
And that is all the new stuff that she has to say at the moment. All of the investigate options have already been explored.
Keep up the good work, Doctor.
You too, Commander.
Right, and with that we can now head deeper into the hospital, where we can actually complete another small side quest before we talk to Kaidan.
Yes, I'm trying to place a call to Grissom Academy. They have biotic AMP interfaces I may be able to adapt for Asari use. No, it won't connect. It says the station's communication system is offline. Of course. If these interfaces make our commandos better on the field, I'll hold for as long as you need.
And once again, we have actually found some of these biotic interfaces in Grissom Academy, so let's help out once more.
I overheard you talking. Grissom Academy is gone, but I found this while I was there.
What is this? Yes, these are tailored to human physiology, but with a few alterations, they should work for the Asari as well. This is exactly what I needed. Thank you. Tell Matriarch Athena that our huntresses should have the upgrades waiting for them on their next shore leave. No, they were very easy to scale. The humans made some amazing breakthroughs.
Okay, lovely. And with one side quest completed, we might as well obtain another one while we're here.
Listen to me, those prototypes are vital. We need these biotic upgrades to fight the Reapers.
And for the actual quest to trigger, we just have to wait a few more seconds.
I know the Ismar frontier isn't safe. Yes. All I can say is that unless we get those prototypes back, this project accomplishes nothing. Thank you very much for your time. I'll call you if anything develops.
Right, so this one we can't turn in just yet. As you have heard, we have to go to the Ismar frontier for it. But first, let's visit Kaidan.
I'd like an answer, Major. The galaxy has need of exceptional soldiers like you, now more than ever.
You'll have it soon, Counselor. I promise.
I look forward to it. Shepard?
Adina? Hey.
Shepard, hey. You just missed snack time. Actually, that's probably a good thing. Thanks for coming.
No problem. What did Adina want? Still thinking about the Spectre position?
It was a big honor. A huge responsibility. Just need to be sure.
I got you this.
Wow, thanks, Shepard. That's really great.
Just a little pick-me-up.
Maybe when I'm out, we can crack it open and celebrate. I am so ready to get out of here, Shepard. You can't tell, but I'm tied to this bed by medical red tape. I mean, Doc says I'm good to go, but then she always finds just one more test to run.
You doing okay?
My implant got a little rattled, so Doc just wants me to keep the biotics offline for a bit. It's really no big deal.
Need me to break you out?
I'll let you know.
And once again, it might look like it, but we will not be obtaining any morality points here. Still, in this case, the more Paragon-leaning option seems like the right thing to say.
I'm glad you asked me to come. It's good to see you're gonna be okay.
Thanks.
You almost died on my watch. It was horrible to see.
I want you to be straight with me then. So I just want to make sure, after Mars, after Horizon, you and me, we're good.
We've been through hell together, had each other's backs. That kind of bond is hard to break.
No, not just that. You were my commander, sure, but you listened, too. We went through Ash's death together.
Yeah. We did.
So what do you say? Are we good?
And honestly, what kind of leader would we be if we were to hold a grudge here? So yeah, I think we're good, and not just for now, even though we don't receive any Paragon points for it.
We're good. It was great to have you back on the Normandy.
Thanks.
Feel like we've cleared the air?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure that I've been wrong about Cerberus, but I've been wrong about you. I should let you get back to the Normandy. Wish I could come with you.
Take care of yourself, Kaidan. We need you at 100%.
Will do. Thanks for coming.
Alright, so that ends our conversation with Kaidan, at least the first one, because we can actually talk to him a second time now, for what is arguably an even more interesting conversation.
Something else, Shepard?
Now, the entire thing here only consists of us asking questions, but in my opinion, the amount of insight we get from those far surpasses what Kaidan was willing to share earlier.
Give me the update, Major.
Major, yeah.
Congrats. There's obviously been a lot going on.
Anderson asked me to take over a Spec Ops program. First Special Operations Biotics Division. We're recruiting the most talented human biotics from around the galaxy.
What's the focus?
Covert, high-risk missions. Turned it down at first. I mean, teaching? I prefer to get my hands dirty.
Anderson can be pretty persuasive.
Yeah, bit of a hard ass, but you can't argue with his kind of experience. Wouldn't take no, said it had to be me.
With your history, you're the perfect choice.
True. Human biotics are... we're different. Freaks, even. Most people in the galaxy still see us that way. But accepting it, embracing it, can be the difference between success and sitting at home in your PJs taking red sand.
You've been injured. Sure you want right back in the thick of it?
Are you kidding? I want to kick the Reapers straight to hell. Cerberus, too. People near death say their lives flash before their eyes. Well, the future flashed for me. The anguish, the families, the children. It made me determined to live. I need to do something, Shepard. To save at least a few lives.
You said your implant got rattled. Everything good?
The medical gibberish was a bit more impressive, but that's what I took away. Rattled. Found a great doc at HQ that's fascinated by the L2 implant. Kind of her pet project. The headaches are as bad as ever, but she's got me on a regimen of acupuncture and meds and some nasty tasting concoction. Won't tell me what it is. But my biotics are stronger than ever. Maybe some things get better with age.
Or maybe you have.
Are you flirting with me, Commander? Wait. Don't tell me. Let me live in the illusion.
Where's your family? Are they safe?
My family? My parents live in Vancouver, but Dad's family owns an orchard in the BC interior. They were headed out there on a shuttle the day of the attack.
Heard from them?
No, not yet. But I hope... I'm hoping Dad's Alliance training has kept them safe. Must be killing them not knowing where I am.
And I have saved the best for last. Yes, we probably also want to talk about Horizon. Even though we just made up with him, it can't hurt to revisit that topic.
Are we going to be able to get past what happened on Horizon?
I'd like to, Shepard. I'd like to move past the harsh words and be friends. At least.
So how do we fix it?
I'll admit, I own a lot of that. And you were standing right in front of me and I shut you down. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just put it behind us and get on with what's important right now.
Bury it?
Bury it. Forgive it. I think that's how we get past Horizon.
So with a hopefully healthy amount of forgiving and forgetting, we can now end this conversation. And who knows, maybe the next time we stop by, Kaidan is ready to go again.
I should probably get going.
Thanks for coming by.
Take care, Kaidan.
Right, and that more or less concludes our business here at the hospital, the second of 5 areas that we are going to visit during our stay here at the Citadel. On our way out though, we can quickly check in with Dr. Ravin and witness the consequences that our involvement in her quest had.
The Alliance military has abandoned the Hades Gamma cluster to...
No, it's fine. We won't be needing your supplies after all. No, we found a better variant of metagel that allows for an even higher absorption rate among aquatic species. You'd like a sample? Why, of course, we'll be happy to send you one, just as we sent one to every pharmaceutical company in Citadel space.
And I really wish there was a way to control the volume of the newscasts in the background, but alas, there isn't.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination.
Our next destination is now the nightclub Purgatory, where, among others, we are looking to meet up with Aria.
One moment, please. Now arriving at ward level Purgatory.
And we're starting here with another interesting conversation.
I can't believe he did that. They were refugees. Damn it, it's not like they had much left to start with.
Lost their homes, their loved ones, and some con artist swindles them out of what little they have left.
Can't believe they won't let us stop the bastard. We still ought to do something about it.
You heard the commander. No proof, no arrest. Guy filed a harassment complaint last time, remember? Gotta watch our backs.
Not much we can do with this new detail anyway. What are we, a couple of mall cops?
Should've just shot the bastard when we had the chance.
I hate being stuck here. I hate this guard duty assignment. I hate everything right now.
Nothing to do about it. We each stand duty in our own ways.
At least your wife and the kids went on that trip you mentioned a while back. Where was it again?
They canceled the trip. Donated the funds to some charity when Earth was hit. And then...
Paladin. Shit. I'm sorry. So I thought about talking to Commander Bailey some more about that guy scamming the refugees.
Really? What'd he say?
Any idea how busy he is? I said I thought about talking to him, not that I did.
Damn it. One of these days I'm going to shoot you.
Nah, you won't. I'm the only one willing to stand here with you all day.
Shut up.
And it is actually important to listen to these two all the way to the end, and we will hear once more from them on our way back.
I know people are complaining. We're doing what we can with what we've got here, but let me finish. Our power grid can only handle so much power before it shuts down, and we can't use the backups. No, the new regs apply to the whole Citadel. Management knows this is important for morale, but we can't go over budget. Look, I'm not touching the backups. Get me a better power grid, I'll give you a bigger light show.
And just like that, we have obtained another side quest, however, one that we cannot complete for the time being, so let's head inside now.
Those Cerberus bastards had us. Assholes. Shit, they just kept coming and coming. And not even sure from where. Fucking hell. And poor Bilal. They didn't have to take him out like that. Brutal. Brutal. Brutal.
No. I'm telling you, I saw the look in his eye before he started off across that street. It was like, come and get me, Death. You piece of shit.
But you're not getting anyone else.
Exactly. You're not getting anyone else.
And as we head inside now, we have one more of these conversations coming up. In my opinion, though, this one is worth it.
Hey, you ready to get this party started?
Hey, Mal, you're, here.
Hell yeah, I'm here. For the next 48 hours, I'm spending as much time in this bar as humanly possible.
Yeah, we had the same thought. So, the bar's over there, and,
Hey, is the whole squad here? Hey, guys!
Yeah, we were going to, have a guys' night.
Do you guys have a tab? Where are the dancers? I want dancers.
Well, the dance floor's over there.
Not dancers, dumbass. Dancers. I'm here for shore leave, not the Viennese waltz.
I don't,
Oh, come on. If there's an ass shaking somewhere on this station, you guys know where it is. Seriously, hook me up here. I had a few on the way in, but I need something cheap and fruity, like you.
Listen, Mel.
And then I want to see dancers, and not just crappy pole work.
Mel.
Like, take the raunchiest thing you can imagine, and then add a hanar hanging on somewhere.
Mel, listen, the guys are kind of weirded out by you being here.
Why are the guys weirded out? Do they think I'm gonna want guys dancing? Because I'm fine with Asari.
No, they're...
This one act I caught on Ilium, she starts out dressed as a commando, but by the end... Well, I never looked at a shotgun the same way again.
No, it's because you're a woman.
What the hell? I'm a woman? Holy crap, I'm a woman! Where did these tits come from?
Mel, listen.
Were they cloaked? Are they infiltrator tits? Could there be more of them hiding?
Nobody is denying that you're a great soldier.
What is this, my damn eulogy? Shut up and buy me a drink.
Guys came here to, be guys, and they don't think they can do that with you here.
Why not? Wait, are you guys gonna get bare-assed? Do you need me to get bare-assed?
What? No! God, no.
So yeah, they might not be everyone's cup of tea, but in my opinion, listening to these conversations is among the most entertaining things you can do in this game. They add so much life to the world around us, but yes, they can also get a bit lengthy.
Damn it, morale is pitiful. The troops need something to bring back their fighting spirit. Remember the stories of the 1st Regiment on Castellus? Outnumbered, knowing they would die, but they fought for the Empire. That's the spirit we need if we're going to hold Paladin.
And guess who's in possession of the banner of the 1st Regiment? Yes, this here is another small side quest that we can complete as soon as we obtain it.
Commander Shepard, maybe I can help. The banner of the 1st Regiment is waiting for you at Bay D-24.
The banner of Commander Shepard. I owe you a drink. Thank you. We'll hold that banner proudly as we take our homeworld back from these bastards. The banner of the 1st Regiment. That should put some steel in their spine.
Right, and now it is time for us to once again properly participate in a conversation as we find James standing at the bar.
Hey, Commander. Nice to see you down here in the dirt with us grunts.
You don't think I like getting dirty?
Oh, now, come on. I didn't mean anything by it, loco.
Uh-huh. What did you mean, then?
See those Marines over there? None of them officers, just soldiers fighting the war.
Yeah?
They've been buying me drinks all night. You know why? Same reason they got all quiet and serious when you walked in.
You don't seem intimidated by me in the least. In fact, you could use a little more deference.
Sure, but I've fought with you. I've seen you in action. Now, don't get me wrong, you're good. Probably one of the best.
Probably.
But I know you're human. Just like me.
But not them?
Nope. Hell, I still remember the day they made you the first human Spectre. I watched it on the vids just like all of them. But to them, you're still larger than life.
Now, once again, this conversation does not give us any morality points, so we are going with the option at the bottom here, because I think it would make sense for Shepard to understand why this happens.
Maybe I should expect it. There aren't a hell of a lot of people who've done what I have.
And now they get to meet you in the flesh. You should buy them around. It'll impress them.
And we certainly do not want to be a party pooper here, so let's buy that round of drinks. Once again, there are no renegade points attached to it.
I like the way you think, Lieutenant.
Compadres! Hey! The commander would like you to have a drink. On him. So here's to us.
Who's like us?
Damn few. And they're all dead.
It's an honor meeting you, Commander.
Thanks. But we're all in this together. Every one of us has a part to play.
True enough. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not bad, Loco. I was hoping you'd know that one.
Thanks for the warning.
Thanks for the drink. Thanks for the drink. When we get back to Earth, I'm buying. You sure you don't want to buy me a drink? I'm just gonna hang here for a while. Salud!
And so, after this short conversation that is presented in a somewhat renegade-y way, we can now actually continue to go down that road and let out Shepard's wild side, because of course every good club has a dance floor, and we will not be leaving here without using it at least once. And I would say that is more than enough for today. At this point we can get back to business. After all, we were also supposed to meet Aria here, and that conversation is coming up next.
So you admit you and your thugs are here illegally?
Yes, and it only took CSEC 3 weeks to figure it out.
I don't care who you are. You're required to go through processing like all other refugees. Come with me.
I don't think so. Shirk, get me the Asari counselor.
Greetings, Aria. Is there something you need?
I'm being asked to submit to immigration processing.
Of course you are. Done. What else can I do for you?
Nothing. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I think we're done here. Enjoy the show, Shepard?
I guess there's one rule on the Citadel, huh?
I guess so. I hate this place. So sickeningly uptight.
Then why are you here?
Cerberus stole Omega from me. The elusive man is now squarely at the top of my shit list. He will pay for every second I've spent in this bureaucratic hellhole.
How did Cerberus defeat you?
Deceit, distraction, and a big fucking army. They lured me away from Omega and ambushed me. I escaped, but Cerberus had already laid siege. By the time I could launch an assault, they were too entrenched.
Now, in this one we can grab some morality points, and even though Aria is probably leaning more towards the renegade side, we are staying true to our Paragon path.
At least you escaped to fight another day.
And that day is coming. I'll take Omega back, but I'll get to that. You're here because I have a proposition.
I'm listening.
The way I see it, if you don't defeat the Reapers, we're all dead. Won't matter where I'm sitting. It's in my interest to help you.
What are you offering, Aria?
On Omega, I kept the Blood Pack, Blue Suns, and Eclipse in check. Now they're running amok. Nobody wants that. Unite them under my rule, and you'll have a powerful and ruthless force for your war. I've laid the groundwork with all 3 groups. I just need you to close the deals.
And no, we will certainly not do whatever it takes, although we are of course also not entirely opposed to the idea, but as always, we'll do it our way.
Give a criminal a gun, he'll shoot you in the back.
They already have guns, Shepard. I'll make sure they point them at the Reapers. I'm trying to help you. Why don't you think it over? Meet with Gnarl, my agent who's dealing with the Blood Pack. The Blue Suns leader is incognito here on the Citadel. He'll be expecting you. And I already have a deal with Jonas Sidaris, the Eclipse leader. You just have to get your friend, Commander Bailey, to let her out of jail.
You obviously don't know Bailey very well.
Bailey respects you. Lean on him. I think a united force of professional mercs is worth it. Don't you? It's always a pleasure, Shepard. Let me know if you want to talk later.
And that later is actually going to be right now, as we have just obtained 4 Paragon points for our 2 dialogue choices, and are currently in the process of receiving 3 quests and 3 new codex entries. Most of these quests we will be able to complete here on the Citadel. For one of them we will have to travel a bit, but only if we want to follow the Paragon path. In any case, before we get started, let's gather a bit more intel from Aria herself.
Look who's here. So what's on your mind, Shepard?
And here we go, we can now ask a few questions about the 3 mercenary groups, but also about Omega and Aria herself. Let's see if she is in any sort of sharing mood.
How am I supposed to talk Bailey into letting Jonas Sidaris out of prison?
I've already leaned on the Council. Bailey is in direct defiance of their order. So talk to him. One Boy Scout to another, chain of command and all that crap. Take him to dinner, talk dirty to him, whatever works.
How do we get the Blue Suns on our side?
Their leader, Darner Vosk, is a twisted little criminal. I expected his demands to be unreasonable, but it turns out he's the biggest pushover of them all. Talk to him. I'll let you be the judge. Call me if you need to.
What's your angle on gaining control of the Blood Pack?
Gnarl will explain it. If we're gonna work together, Shepard, you need to trust me. At least a little.
How do you plan on taking Omega back?
I think I'm going to employ violence. I'm gonna slap Omega right out of the elusive man's greedy little hands.
What's new with you?
That's supposed to be funny? Let's see. I've lost Omega. I got C-Sec eyes all over me, and I'm holed up in this poor excuse for a nightclub. Can't even get Novarian rum here. In other words, I'm in hell.
Right, so it looks like Aria might not be the most talkative at the moment. Somewhat understandable given her current situation, so I think it's best if we get going.
Sounds like you have a lot to worry about. I'll get out of your hair.
You're quite the comedian today. We'll be seeing each other soon, Shepard.
And on the way out, we can now listen to the rest of those conversations, beginning with those Alliance Marines over by the entrance here.
Wait, is this because you all secretly want to nail me? Well, secretly except for Richards. He wrote poetry.
No, nobody wants to... Poetry?
Well, it didn't rhyme, but I think it was a prose poem. Or else he was hammered and messed up his punctuation.
No, listen, it's not like that.
So am I one of the guys or not?
Mel, you are totally one of the guys.
So buy me a damn drink, dumbass, and let's find some dancers. Perky ones.
All right, deal. Later on, we're gonna kick Richard's ass.
Damn, I love shore leave.
Didn't think I was making it off Benny.
No, neither did I. Neither did I.
They had us. If he hadn't drawn their fire, well, we wouldn't have made it. Nope, not a goddamn chance. I couldn't have done that. What he did.
Now, ignoring the typo in the subtitles, I want you to remember that these guys talked about a man named Bilal earlier, a name that is not entirely irrelevant, as we'll find out in just a moment.
I'm not going to be able to put up with this assignment much longer.
I hear you. The way people in there keep acting like nothing's going on.
No, that's just them coping with the war. It's the bottom feeders that are getting to me. Profiteering on the lives the war is destroying, it's sick.
It's just business as usual as far as they're concerned. And for some, it's even more business than usual.
I hate that they're getting away with this. And we just sit here doing nothing while people on Palaven are dying.
We could leave. Quit C-Sec. Go to Palaven to help with the war effort. Find your family.
You... spirits? You do that?
We're partners, aren't we? Of course I would.
And with that, this conversation is now also completed, which actually unlocks a little something down the line.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination.
Now, for our final stop today, we are visiting the embassies, which means the holding area and the Presidium Commons, with all of the shops inside, will be left for the next episode.
One moment, please. Now arriving at Presidium Embassy.
And the first person we want to talk to here is Captain Bailey. After all, to get the Eclipse mercenaries on Aria's good side, we are supposed to secure the release of their leader, Jonas Sedaris, and Bailey seems like the right guy to talk to about that.
Shepard, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Here to talk about you releasing Jonas Sedaris.
Damn, you too? Somebody got the Council to order her release. I'm delaying as best I can. What's your stake in this?
It's classified.
That's a fancy way of saying mind your own business. Look, there's no way I'm letting that psychopath out. The woman's unstable and a clear public threat.
What makes you think she's crazy?
She was a ruthless sadist before she got caught. Her imprisonment has cracked the shell off the nut.
Maybe freedom will improve her.
She rages day and night, Shepard, calling for the deaths of all Eclipse enemies. No, freedom will only give her the chance to kill.
And even with the Renegade option, we will not be able to complete this quest right here and now, so we might as well go Paragon, take a look at Sedaris, and form our own opinion.
I'd like access to her to judge for myself.
Sure thing. I'm sure you'll agree. Then maybe the Council will listen to you and rescind the order. Go to the C-Sec outpost. My assistant will connect to Sedaris' cell from there. Then call me back. Let me know when you've had a chance to talk to Sedaris. It never rains, but it pours, eh, Shepard?
That bad, huh?
Things here are getting tense. So many refugees scuttling about, rumors flying about the war. People are walking around eyeballing each other, and we can't keep up with the reports on suspicious behavior.
It'll probably get worse before it gets better, Bailey.
Yeah, if it ever gets better.
A couple more lines of dialogue here just for the sake of completion, but that is all that we can do in his office. However, waiting just outside of it is Jondum Bau, the Solarian Spectre who contacted us earlier, so let's see what he has to say.
Commander Shepard, Jondum Bau, Special Tactics and Recon. I've got intel suggesting that high-level Hanar officials may be indoctrinated.
That's a damning accusation. What have you got?
Evidence of an Alliance Black Ops team raiding a Batarian research station. The Batarians were studying Reaper technology.
The Batarians had Reaper technology?
The Alliance raid turned into a massacre, and the humans ended up with nothing. Your people faked a power failure to hide the incident.
The Batarians would have gone to war if they'd found out. But how does this implicate the Hanar?
They maintained discreet gray market trade relationships with the Batarians, and led the Alliance to the station. We suspect those Hanar operatives escaped with Batarian tech. If your reports on the Reapers are accurate, they could already be indoctrinated.
What's your source on all this?
It was an anonymous gift, but I believe it came from a thief named Kasumi Goto. I've been after her for years.
Kasumi? You're hunting a thief?
A master thief. Her intelligence and skill are almost Solarian.
I'm sure she'd appreciate praise from the Spectre who's chasing her down.
I only need her data. I admire her personally. And since she sent me this, I assume her feelings are mutual.
And of course, we will agree to help for 2 easy Paragon points. After all, the Spectres have to stick together, and it also looks like we are about to meet another familiar face.
What do you need me to do?
The Hanar operative is now a diplomat on the Citadel. I don't have a public name, and the Hanar will go to ground if I make a formal inquiry.
So we're hunting.
I'm tracking suspicious transmissions to the Hanar homeworld. I could use your help.
Let me see what I can dig up at the Spectre office.
Thanks, Shepard. And for the record, not everyone doubted your concerns about the Reapers. I just hope we're not too late.
So, remember when you helped me get KG's grey box from Donovan Hawk? The one with information that could start a war?
I thought we destroyed that information to keep you safe.
There were enough clues left for me to piece things together when I got curious. It was big enough to leak it to Bau. If you don't mind me tagging along cloaked, maybe I can help you dig up some dirt on the Hanar.
I'd appreciate it.
Right, so Kasumi is back, and elusive as ever, likely shadowing us as we now make our way over to the Spectre terminal. To properly start this quest, we now have to enable the Hana embassy tracking, otherwise we will not be able to find out the necessary information. We can also authorize the partner benefits increase, but only because we overheard the entire conversation of the departing Turian soldier and his Asari wife in the docking bay. You might remember that one back in episode 3. The civilian deportation order then also gets authorized, and this actually relates to the criminal conman that Turians outside of Purgatory were talking about, so by authorizing this we are making their job a little easier. Moving on, we can also grant facilities to some of the Grissom Academy personnel, so that they can properly train those students who are not yet ready to follow Jack into combat. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we can authorize military pardons to engineers Daniels and Donnelly, 2 former squad members of ours who served on board of the Normandy in Mass Effect 2, but who were arrested for working with Cerberus. This here will now reinstate them, so we have that to look forward to. For the time being, though, let us shift our focus back on that Hana issue.
Shepard, I'm checking security reports. Can you track the transfers coming from the Hanar embassy?
On it.
Bau's got a good plan. Hanar are predictable. Anything suspicious in their terminal use should narrow down our list of suspects.
So you approve of Bau?
Absolutely. He's a good Spectre. The galaxy needs more like him.
And the fact that he's trying to arrest you?
Well, nobody's perfect.
And coincidentally, the first terminal of interest is located right over here.
Bau, I have some possible hits. Got some strange money transfers on Balone, and Alun is sending a lot of data.
Balone's clean. His money transfers are to support his mistress. Not sure about Alun. I'll pull his bio.
I'll check Olun's personal records and pull his recent messages.
Can I just note how odd it is for a Hanar to have a mistress?
You know, if Bau catches up with you, I can grant you immunity.
What, if I join up? Last time I did that, you wrote me into a suicide mission.
I didn't say you had to join up.
You were working your way around to it.
Now, just around the corner here, we can also find that Volus diplomat I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the one who's looking for that Prothean obelisk.
I think I recovered the obelisk you mentioned from the Shrike Abyssal. It's waiting in Bay D24.
Really? Thank you, Earth Clan. Were your people involved in a secret construction project of some sort, I am certain this obelisk would help. Thank you again, Earth Clan. Our military strength is minimal, but we are proud to help as we can.
And for the last conversation of the episode now, that name Bilal from earlier is going to be important.
But what I need is proof. I can't take your word on this. But those assumptions merely leave my son stranded in enemy territory.
Is under attack.
Bilal may still be alive.
The galaxy from Paladin and Earth.
Yes, I have spoken to you before. Why do you refuse to help me? If it's possible that my son Bilal is alive, I will not rest until he's found. Yes, his squad did return. I could, but they ignored me, refused to even look me in the eye. Why won't you help me? I simply want my son found.
And once again, I hope you could hear all of that over the background newscast. In any case, the proper conversation that follows now will be much easier to listen to.
I fully understand the situation. Of course I read through the names of the dead every day, but... Please, a few more minutes of searching could mean a lifetime of peace for my family.
Someone in your family is MIA?
My son Bilal. And bureaucratic compassion seems to be in short supply. I am Ambassador Dominic Osoba. My son's squad returned from their mission on Benning without him. I found them drinking, but they won't even look me in the eye. I can offer a bounty for any information. If Bilal's alive, we want him home. If he's dead, then we can begin to mourn him.
If I find anything, I'll let you know.
Thank you. Either way, you will set my mind at ease.
Alright, and we don't even get a single dialogue choice here, but still unlock a small assignment, and unfortunately we do have to travel a bit to complete this one, because no, overhearing that conversation back in the bar is apparently not considered enough information. For today though, after another good hour of meeting old and new faces, I think we have reached a good point to make the cut. Again, I hope that these conversation-focused episodes are not too boring for you to watch. I am trying to keep everything as streamlined as possible, and I hope there is enough plot development here to keep you entertained. Now, like I said, in the next episode we'll head over to the holding area and to the Presidium Commons. We'll have a few more interesting conversations, and we'll also do some shopping, and we'll also be able to enjoy what is, in my opinion, among the funniest bits of ambient audio that we can listen to in the entire trilogy. So I hope you look forward to that, and in the meantime I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.